My name is Akshay and I am the founder of UserBit, an all-in-one platform for UX and product teams. If you're in the field of UX, you must have heard about personas, and you must have also heard about all the different opinions people have about them. Some think that the personas are a waste of time, while others think it's the most useful tool in your research belt. In this video, I will give you 4 compelling reasons why an effective persona can really up your research game. So let's dive in. Number 1. A user might mean different things to different people. Imagine a scenario where you walk into a meeting with business people, marketing, HR, and you mention a statement like, the user would really appreciate feature X, right? Now, each person in that meeting might be thinking of a different user. The business person might be thinking about the client that's paying you the most. The marketing person might be thinking about the last client that they talked to. The point being that every person will be thinking about the archetype that they have in their minds as opposed to what you mean. How do you avoid this problem? You use a persona. When you say, Sally the marketer would really appreciate this feature, there is very little doubt about what each person is thinking about. Number 2, personas give you a memorable shorthand to remember your user cohorts. As human beings, we are not very good at keeping a list of items in our head. What we have evolved to be good at, though, is remembering faces and then associating a bunch of characteristics to those faces. So in a way, recalling a persona is like recalling a friend, like their face, the name, and the various attributes that come with that face, right? So one of the most important benefits of having a persona is that you don't have to carry around in your head 18 different characteristics of your user cohorts. Number 3. Personas help you avoid designing for yourself. As experts in our field, it is very difficult to not have strong opinions about our designs. But to create truly user-centric design, we need to be concerned more about the user needs and balance it with business needs and so on. If you have a persona constantly in mind as you're designing and doing your work, it is much harder to then fall into the trap of having your own opinions bias your designs. Number 4, on the other end of the spectrum, persona also helps us avoid designing for every use case. This problem is very apparent in some of these enterprise applications, if you've seen, where there are tons of buttons and toggles everywhere through the interface, and creates a very complicated experience for our majority of our users. If you trace back each of those buttons and features, you'll see there was an individual probably request that came in a long time ago, and the designer thought it was important enough to be put into the actual product. Now, you can avoid this problem by using personas and then designing for majority of your users as opposed to individual requests, and in turn avoid overcomplicating the scheme. And as a bonus, number 5, personas also help us with knowledge transfer. Very often in our career we find that we have to work with an outside agency or there's a new hire on the team. How do you get them up to speed on who our users are, what kind of cohorts or archetypes you're serving or designing for? Personas are really instrumental there, where you already have a well-defined archetype for the various user cohorts, and you can communicate that via just sharing the personas and their demographic behavioral content. Hopefully I've given you a lot of compelling reasons why personas are really useful for your research design. But circling back to the beginning of the video, there are a lot of people that hold the opinion that personas are a waste of time or they're not useful. Why is that? It is important to understand why personas fail. So let's do that in our next video.